What's up, Bills Mafia? It's another beautiful day to talk Buffalo football. And as always, we're keeping our eyes locked on the grind. The Bills are working harder than ever to improve, elevate, and finally bring that Lombardi trophy home to Western New York. Before we jump into this massive trade rumor involving James Cook and the Chicago Bears, and break down why Khalil Shakir might be the most slept-on receiver in the NFL, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Buffalo Beat News, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a second of Bills action. Alright, let's dive into the fire. Here we go again. Mafia James Cook's name is back in the headlines, and this time it's linked to a potential blockbuster. According to Sports Illustrated's Pat Martiniak, the Chicago Bears are eyeing Cook as a potential solution to their lingering running back issues. And here's the kicker: they might be willing to swap DeAndre Swift in return. Let me break this down for you. We know Cook is heading into the final year of his rookie deal. He's a two-time Pro Bowler, has posted back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and he's scored 16 touchdowns in 2024 alone. On the surface, he's one of the best weapons in the league, but behind the scenes, contract drama continues to simmer. He skipped OTA letters. He showed up for mandatory minicamp, but as of today, there's still no extension in place and training camp is right around the corner. If Cook decides to hold out, or if negotiations truly stall, Buffalo may have to seriously consider a trade. That's where Chicago comes in. Let's not sugarcoat it, the Bears are desperate for a top-tier back. They missed out on Ashton Jeanty in the 2025 NFL Draft. They struck out in rounds 2 and 3, despite signing DeAndre Swift. The vibe out of Chicago is that they still don't trust their backfield to carry the load. For second-year QB Caleb Williams. Now imagine this: a one-two punch with Swift and James Cook. Or more realistically, just Cook, with Swift being sent to Buffalo in a player-for-player deal. Here's what Martiniak wrote: Cook would likely give Chicago's offense a huge boost, while taking a load off Caleb Williams' shoulders. He's dynamic, proven, and ready to take over a new offense. The Bears could get him for a data pick or by trading Swift straight up. From a Bills perspective, this isn't as crazy as it sounds. Swift is a proven player. He's coming off a solid year. He can catch out of the backfield, and he could complement Ray Davis nicely in Joe Brady's system. If Cook and Bean can't get on the same page financially, this might be the cleanest way to cut ties without taking a step back. Here's the big question: should the Bills even entertain this? Well, Spotrac projects Cook's extension a hit for years, $40.8 million, and he's reportedly looking for more than that. That's a tough pill to swallow for a guy who only plays around 50% of offensive snaps and isn't heavily used in the two-minute offense. The team seems perfectly content letting this season play out. But if a holdout is looming, the value of a trade now could outweigh the risk of Cook sitting or walking for nothing. Would I prefer to keep Cook? Sure. Would I understand trading him if things go south contract-wise? Absolutely. Because remember, this team is built around Josh Allen. The supporting cast must be flexible, explosive, and affordable. If the Bills can't balance those three things, hard decisions have to be made. While all the attention is on James Cook's future, one name is quietly rising in Buffalo and nationally. That name: Khalil Shakir. Bleacher Report's Alex K just named him the third most underrated wide receiver in the NFL, right behind Jordan Addison and Jawin Jennings. Let me repeat that: third most underrated WR in the league. Here's what K said: what Shakir lacks in build, he makes up for in motor, focus, and pure toughness. He attacks the middle of the field, makes tough catches, and is one of the league's best after the catch. He's not wrong. In 2024, Shakir totaled 597 yards after the catch, second only to Ja'Marr Chase. That's elite territory. And now that Shakir is locked into a new contract and position as Josh Allen's favorite target, heading into 2025, the breakout is coming. This guy has gone from WR3 to potential WR1 in Buffalo's offense. He's fast, smart, and Allen trusts him in every high-leverage situation. Just think about those key third-down conversions and deep crossers. Who's on the other end? It's usually number 10. Shakir is ready to explode this season. He's not just underrated, he's under the radar in a WR room that's already full of talent. So what does all of this mean for the Bills as a team? Well, let's be real, this is a transition year. Even if the Super Bowl window is wide open, we've got new faces in the WR room, a defense loaded with fresh energy, and yes, contract drama at the RB position. But through all the noise, one thing remains true: Josh Allen is still this team's engine. and he's got enough talent around him to make another deep run with or without James Cook. Khalil Shakir is ascending, Ray Davis is ready, and Joe Brady's offense is going to find ways to stay balanced and dangerous. If Cook's situation works out, great. If not, the Bills have options and they'll be ready. Cornerback Rasul Douglas, one of the most physical, instinctive DBs in the league and a key contributor to the Buffalo Bills' defense down the stretch in 2023, is still a free agent. And when a fan asked him on social media about possibly returning to Green Bay, Douglas didn't mince words. His reply, "That ship has sailed, and honestly, we believe him." Let's rewind real quick. Douglas was traded to Buffalo midseason last year. He played in 9 games with the Bills, logged 10 passes defensed for interceptions, and immediately brought an edge to the secondary. He fit in perfectly with Sean McDermott's defensive scheme: physical, press coverage, quick reads, and sticky hands. He was a plug-and-play starter who helped Buffalo push deep into the playoffs, and yet, come March, the Bills didn't re-sign him. Now, here we are in late June. Rasul is still unsigned. The Packers have a need at corner after releasing Jaire Alexander, but they've already filled the depth chart with names like Keisean Nixon, Kerryon Valentine, and Nate Hobbs. So why not bring back Rasul? Here's what's really going on in Green Bay. Even after cutting Alexander, they're not expected to pursue any big-name cornerbacks this offseason. That includes Douglas. Despite having over $35 million in cap space, the Packers seem locked into a youth movement. They've got bodies, but not necessarily proven starters, and yet they're standing firm. Matt Schneidman of The Athletic reports that the Packers aren't planning to bring in outside help, meaning Douglas' return is off the table. That's not just smoke, that's the team's direction. And Douglas, he seems totally fine with that. His post on X, formerly Twitter, made it clear. No hard feelings, but no interest either. So now the million-dollar question: where will Rasul Douglas go next? Let's start with what we know. The Seattle Seahawks hosted Douglas for a visit back in May, but no deal came of it. The Miami Dolphins have been floated as a landing spot, especially with Jalen Ramsey unlikely to be fully healthy heading into 20-5. And of course, the Bills still haven't completely closed the door. Let's pause on that last one. Buffalo has done a lot to refresh the defense. They brought in new blood at safety. They're developing Christian Benford and Kyer Elam at corner. They've added rookies, but is the depth really settled? If one injury hits the secondary, we're in the danger zone. And who knows the Bills' system better than Rasul Douglas? He thrived here. He made plays here. He was loved by this locker room. If a deal could be done cheap, why not reunite? Let's not forget Douglas is just 29 years old, entering year 9 in the league. He's not a washed-up vet looking for a farewell tour. This dude can still ball. Yes, his coverage numbers dipped a bit in 2024, especially early in the year with Green Bay, but when he came to Buffalo, he turned it back on. He had, for INTs in just 9 games, just a 58.6 passer rating when targeted in coverage, and brought a much-needed veteran presence to the DB rooms. The type of guy who shows up when it matters: playoff energy, locker room leadership, and defensive IQ. So why is he still a free agent? It might come down to contract expectations. Most likely, Douglas is waiting for a team to meet his value somewhere around $5 to $7 million per year. He probably doesn't want a league minimum prove-it deal. That could change real fast when training camp opens and injuries start popping up, or when a contender like Buffalo or Miami decides experience is worth the price. Now it's your turn. Bills Mafia, let me hear it. Should the Bills consider trading James Cook to the Bears? Would you take a deal involving DeAndre Swift and a mid-round pick? And is Khalil Shakir ready to be that guy in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Let's debate it out like only real fans can. And hey, if you enjoyed this update, smash that like button, subscribe to Buffalo Beat News, and share this with your fellow Bills fans who need to know what's really going on behind the scene. We'll be back soon with more insider updates from training camp, trade rumors, and exclusive player spotlights. Until then, go Bills!